Hello, hello, and hello. Welcome to Marcella and Friends. I am so delighted and I'm so excited that you are here. And while we were starting, I just got a message on from my streaming platform that YouTube is not connecting. Ah, but it's all good. We are here. We are live here on Facebook. I'm just going to check that just for a moment just to make sure that we're good. Not sure what is going on. YouTube is always my ride or die. I don't know what's going on with YouTube right now, but let me just check first to make sure that we are good over here on the book and we are live and present on the book here. And so I welcome you, and I'm so grateful that you are here with us tonight for another broadcast of Marcella and Friends. This is the place where we gather together any given Monday or Tuesday, and I introduce you to some of my super friends who are doing amazing things in the earth. We talk about purpose, we talk about some of their upcoming events, and we just have a time where we talk and we encourage and we exhort. I know that today, how this world is today, some of us, our days are long and different things are happening in our lives. So it's always good when we can pull away and just sit and have some conversation and listen to some life, because I consider myself to be a life giver. I serve the almighty life giver. And my goal is whenever I get into the presence of someone and I'm having a conversation, I want you to walk away feeling like you just got some life injected into you. And so I'm excited tonight. I know that you will hear something tonight that will encourage you and will empower you to be the best version of your God self. And so we're going to go ahead and get this party started. If you are with us, I'm going to ask that you would just take some time to share the broadcast, like the broadcast. And the thing that I so love about the book and the rest of these streaming platforms is that if you don't get an opportunity to join us live, you have the opportunity to watch us in the replay. And so, again, I'm not sure what's going on over there on the tube, but if we are not connected on YouTube, what I'll do is take this recording off of Facebook and I will upload it on YouTube. So where there is a will, there's a way. So there's always things that we can do to make sure that we are, yeah, I don't see us over here on YouTube at all. All right, so yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. But nevertheless, we are here and we're so excited. And I'm just excited about my super friend who is here with us tonight. I will bring her on shortly. But before I do that, please, if you are here, just take a moment to like the broadcast, share the broadcast, and let us know where you are from. So thank you to those of you who are here, who are saying hello. We so appreciate you. And when I get my super friend up here in a minute, I am going to see if it's something that I can do to get this YouTube straight. Let's see, it says edit. I'm trying to see if it's something that I can do really quick. Schedule. Add YouTube. Okay. Yeah, I'm good at a lot of things, but I'm this kind of stuff like this. I don't know what happened, but it's okay. And I'm always bragging about YouTube because YouTube is usually my ride or die. And so again, thank you all so much. I see somebody on here from YouTube. And so YouTube person, the person you just said, hello, everybody from YouTube. Just confirm with me that you are watching us on YouTube, that you see me, that you hear me on YouTube, because it's showing that you guys are on YouTube. So could just confirm with me really quick that you can see me and hear me on YouTube. I'm not sure what your names are. I see someone that said 705, 706 that said hello. So please just take a moment and help a sister out right now and let me know that you can see me over on YouTube. Okay, that's Facebook. Okay. All right, so I'm seeing comments from both YouTube and Facebook, but when I look up for it on YouTube, I can't find it anywhere. And it's telling me that I am not on YouTube, but we have people who are commenting from YouTube. All right, so we're not even going to worry about that. We're just going to go ahead and welcome those of you who are here from Facebook. I see you over there. Please take a moment to share and like the broadcast. And so, as I mentioned earlier, we talk about purpose here. I bring my super friends, and every time we get together, I make sure that I bring somebody who is here to be able to speak life to you, someone who I know walks in integrity, someone who I know has a pure heart and walking a purpose driven life. And I'm so excited tonight to be able to bring my sister friend to the stage with me tonight. We grew up together in the city of New Brunswick. We went to school together. We went to church together at one point. And we don't get to spend a lot of time together. But when we do get together, it's just always something that I see and I know in her. She is such a gifted soul. She just has a voice that is so pure. And I'm just telling you, I'm so excited. I've been wanting to get her here for a long time. And I'm so excited that she said yes to joining us tonight. And I am just going to bring her to the stage tonight. And we are going to have some great conversation. And you're going to get to know her and possibly follow her and hear about some of the amazing things that she is doing. So I want to bring to the stage tonight my sister, my super friend, Lady. I'm gonna call her Lady Barbara Dixon tonight. I'm gonna give her an opportunity to introduce herself, but I would just want to bring her before you tonight. So welcome her tonight. Welcome, welcome.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm so grateful to be here. Thank you, my sister, my beautiful sister, for inviting me and having me on your platform. You're doing so much great work. And again, my name is Barbara Dixon. Like she said, right from out of New Brunswick, Brunswick, Jersey. Grew up in New Brunswick. I'm a mother. I'm a wife. I'm a grandmother. As a matter of fact, that nominee from YouTube is my daughter. So I was waiting for her to respond to let us know how she's on here. But so grateful to be on here and to have this opportunity to just talk about purpose and the things that we are doing in our lives. I call my sister Marcella a superwoman. She's doing so many great things, but again, just here to just hopefully be a blessing, hopefully to encourage someone in their walk and what they're doing in their lives at this stage and age of their lives. And so I'm very grateful to be a part of the broadcast and hopefully be able to have some good conversation and encourage everyone. New Brunswick in the house. That's right.
Yes, yes.
New Brunswick in the house. And
Yes,
look like Marcella wanted to say, AKA pie.
yes.
Look like your lips was forming. It's okay.
I worked very hard today to make sure that I didn't call you pie.
It's
Okay.
all good. It's all good. I promise you. I promise you.
Okay.
I
I just
promise you.
wish
It's all good.
these YouTube people would tell me how they are on here because I just don't see them anywhere. And I'm building my YouTube channel, so I want YouTube to show tonight, and I just don't know what's going on. But you know what? It says it looks like the stream was on YouTube. Try creating a new stream or just remove the destination from the stream, then re-add it. Okay, so I'm gonna try to do that just really
I'm
quick.
sorry I can't help you.
I appreciate this
I'm
though
sorry
because
I can't help you.
it gives instructions and it tells me what to do. So I am going to while you talking, we're gonna go ahead and get this party started. While you talking, I'm gonna go over here and try to do something to see if I can
Yeah,
make.
I see Angie. She's on here. That's the praise the Lord. Like I said, hello, everybody. Is my daughter Rashonda. We have Ivanka Brown. We have Amy. I don't want to mess that last name up. And Pastor Kotiki. How you doing?
Awesome, awesome, awesome.
Thank you for joining. Let me see here. Let me
A
see
post
here.
created
Oh,
on
okay.
YouTube for this. Delete it. No, I don't want to delete it because it's telling me to delete it. And so we got people on here saying hello. We so appreciate
Okay.
y'all. We appreciate you so much.
Yes, yes, definitely. We're just trying to get a few things in order, but we are good here. Again, so glad to be a part of this and my sister friend here and doing so many great things. And oh, also while you were doing that, I saw a book. That was my first time seeing that. I must have missed that. So you got to let me know about that book.
Oh yeah, that was
Yeah.
a book that we did sometime this year. Soulful sales. We talk about. So I do a lot of events, and when I do events, I do them. I always have. Let me just see. A lot of vendors. I have a vendor network. And so I always people always say you just need to do a book, so I have it like a guide for people who vend and different things like that. So
Okay.
I got together about 10 authors, and my daughter is one of them, co-authors. And
Okay.
they shared their stories about why they wanted to, well, how they start vending, how they started their businesses, how vending
Wonderful.
impacted them. And it's just a powerful book. It's just the stories. And
Okay.
we have, my daughter is the youngest in her 30s, and the oldest person I have in there is in their 70s.
Wow.
Because
Wow.
one of my
Awesome.
underlining messages is you are never too old, never
That's
too old to be who God has called you to be. And
yes.
we're going to talk about that a little bit
Ah,
tonight too. And so I was able to add YouTube again. The only thing is I don't know if it's going to be under that same link that we gave out, but YouTube is there now. Um, and so hopefully this will work out. Um, but because the people who were commenting, they didn't, when we asked them to say something, they
yeah.
didn't say
I'm
anything.
wondering whether they can actually hear us.
Yeah, that's what, because they were saying hello. But let me see. I still don't see us on here though, but it's saying we're here. So it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. See, let me tell you this part. I'm gonna talk to Pi just for a minute.
Okay.
God knew who to give the singing voice to, right? Because if I could sing, y'all be sick of me, okay? I wouldn't even talk English. I wouldn't even talk. I would speak like everything would be a song. I would say, they say, you know that singing lady. Every time she don't talk regular, she just sing, sing, sing. That would be me. And so because he know his baby girl, because
Uh,
he know his daughter, he is like, you know what? No, that's not you. I got a gift for you, but it's
uh-huh.
not gonna be
Uh-huh.
able to sing because he just knew I ain't humble enough because
That's good.
everything I would sing everything.
He hears it with grace ears. He has grace ears to hear.
So, so I am the person that when the scripture says, "Make a joyful noise unto the
Uh-huh.
Lord, all ye lands,"
Uh-huh.
that's me. That's me.
Okay. It's all good.
Yes, yes. So, hello to those of you who are joining us on Facebook here. We had some technicalities with YouTube, so I'm hoping that it wraps itself up and it works itself out. But
Yeah.
those of you who
Yeah.
are on Facebook, please take a moment to like the broadcast and to share it because I believe that you are here for a reason, but I also know that there are some other people who may need to hear an encouraging word tonight, an encouraging testimony, get some nuggets, hear some life spoken into them tonight. And
Yes.
so we're going to go ahead and get this party started. I probably said that like 10 times, like I normally do. But so um, everybody who knows me knows that, purpose is just one of the things that I
Mhm.
talk about. Purpose is one of the things that I believe in because it wasn't until I understood the power of purpose in my life that I was able to experience life the way that God wanted me to have it.
Mhm.
And so, my first question for you tonight as we start this conversation, what is your definition of purpose?
Now, when I think about purpose, a lot of times I know it could be. I know it's really easy to take that word purpose and the way the world might look at it, and sometimes us too as a goal. You could be like, oh, a purpose is a goal. But to me, really in a personal sense, it's really fulfilling that original intent for which you was created. For
Yes.
me personally. So
Mm.
it's really fulfilling that original plan and intent for which I have been created. So let's say, for an example, I know for the culture, a lot of times we'll say, oh, I'm living my best life. I'm living my best life. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. If you say I'm living my best life, a lot of times that might seem like, okay, I got the best cars, I got the big house, traveling all over the world on first class and all that. And all that's good. But one of the things that I was thinking about, and one of the things that has always been my prayer has been, well, two things. It's been one, Lord, don't let me die without leaving impact. That's
Right.
been a thing for me. Like, I don't want to just come here, live and die and not have any impact or leave any legacy. And then the other thing was, dying empty.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? There are a lot of great, great, great doctors and scientists and whatever in the grave, and they die full.
Yeah.
Means that purpose was not manifested in the earth. It did not manifest, to do what it was created to do. And so sometimes what I look at purpose is really, like I said, is fulfilling that original intent for which you were created. And it's what drives you. Like, purpose drives you. It's what's behind. It's why you do what you do. It shapes our lives. It how we serve, how we live, how we grow. So, I believe it's manifesting, and of course there's multiple purposes, but manifesting purpose in all seasons of our lives, which I know we're going to talk about that a little later. But, so I believe it's just really manifesting the reason why you've been created.
Yes. And understanding and knowing why you were here. And
Exactly.
so I
Exactly.
often say it like this: we all came from a woman, through a woman, all of us, everybody,
Mhm.
regardless of what your situation is
Right.
with your mother, relationship, adopted, whatever the case is. We all came through a woman, and I believe that. So when we came as babies, the doctor spanks us until we give a cry. If
Right.
you don't cry, that's when they speak. You come out, you cry, and that's your oxygen. But I think that that cry it serves a greater purpose. It
Mm,
serves a greater reason, and that cry is your announcement to the world that
mm.
I am here.
Yeah.
And so what happens as we grow and as we live life, and the cares of this world, they distract us.
Mhm,
We
mhm.
get separated from that cry.
Mm,
That
mm.
cry is I
Yes.
am here, attached to our purpose. And I
Yeah, that's
believe
good.
that our purpose is tattooed all over us.
Mhm,
I don't
mhm.
think you have to find purpose. I think you uncover it and you
That's
discover
good.
it.
Mhm.
And so what happens is life gets challenging and different things happen. And so when you hear people say, it's just something, I can't explain it, I don't know what's going on with me. I believe that's because that cry is searching
Yes.
for us.
Yes.
Cry, that
That's good.
announcement, I am here, that you made into the world, but you
Mhm.
separated yourself from it just because we didn't grow up pie growing up. This is a pie and seller thing, right?
Mhm,
We
mhm.
didn't grow up, we didn't hear the older people telling us, you know what, you've been called for this, and they may have told us that we had gifts, and we
Right,
they
right.
not even that, they would say we were talented. I think that's
That's
the
true.
word
That's
we
good.
probably
Yeah.
heard the
Mhm.
most, that we were talented. And so we heard it, but there was no direction. There was no. My parents didn't say to me, Stella, you're gonna be empowerment. I see you as you grow older. You're gonna
Yeah.
speak empowerment. You're gonna speak because they didn't know.
Right, right.
They knew. My parents knew. My mom would always tell me that I just didn't know what to do with you. She said, because you was just you was this thing that I was not familiar with, right?
Mhm.
And I'm the oldest of four, and so I didn't know that I was going to be a speaker. I didn't know that all the things that I am. I just knew that I was the person who encouraged everybody
Right,
since I
right,
was a little girl, and
right.
I didn't have anybody to nurture that. And that's no shame on our parents because they
No,
didn't
no.
know.
No, not at
They
all.
didn't know.
Mhm.
And so that's why purpose is you said so many things. And of course I think about the late Dr. Miles Monroe when I hear purpose, because he was one of the people who really focused on it in
Yes.
the way. And he said one of the wealthiest places on earth is in your local cemetery,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
so many people die with all their gifts and talents in them. And so then that's when he says, so I died, and he died empty, because he gave everything. He
Everything.
died empty. And you said so many things, and that's when I think about legacy and different things like that. My goal, I tell my kids this all the time, my goal is to leave pieces of me here in the earth, so
Hmm.
that when I
Hmm.
am no longer here, that my great 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 grandchildren going to know who their great 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 grandmother
Yeah.
was and what she stood for. And I believe that is what God desires of us, and that's what he wants from us. And that's how we fitly join together to
Right.
create an earth and an atmosphere for us to be able to live whole, so that we can experience not just so much happiness, because
Right.
happiness is built
Right.
upon whatever the situation is, but we can experience that joy. And
Right.
you said something about you said so much when you just talked about what that what purpose is. And so then I'm going to, the next question is, and you already answered a little bit of this, but let's talk about this some more.
Okay.
Why is purpose important, especially at this stage in our lives? Why is purpose important?
Well, one of the things I think that is first, we know that purpose is important at every stage. We do understand that. And at the same time, but I think as you get older, it becomes a little bit more meaningful, becomes a little, because it comes with more clarity,
Yeah.
more experience. You done been through some things, you done lived through some things, you done survived some things. And so, so that experience is used in different stages of our life. And so that experience and the things that you go through wind up becoming an anchor in the midst of it. Like it can sustain you simply because of life situations. Purpose can get cloudy. Purpose can be, I guess, even really taken for granted. You know, sometimes. So you need, that experience brings about an anchor, sustaining you, say emotionally, reminding you that you still matter.
Yeah.
Like purpose reminds you that you still matter, especially after you done been through some ups and downs, and you done been through some trauma, you done been through some pain, you done been through a few things, which we know sometimes clouds us and sometimes can even redirect us. But having purpose and even having the experience to say, if I made it through this, I can make it through this. That's the anchor. But the purpose actually reminds you that you still matter. Being called to purpose, no matter what season, no matter what you've been through, no matter what season of life that you're in, and all that we do, because we know that life changes. We know that people change. We know that we go through all kinds of changes. But I think purpose, what that does is that brings you back from the edge sometimes. It causes you to not go over the cliff. To have that purpose reminds you that I'm still necessary, that
Yes.
that I'm still needed. You have a gift, but within the gift is still that original intent and purpose. You
Yeah.
understand? So because you can have many gifts, but your purpose it could be multifaceted. We understand that. But knowing that that you still have purpose simply because you're here, because
Yes.
roles will change, titles change, positions change, life change. But the purpose is always still in effect because it was God given,
Yes.
which we created with the God given purpose, the original intent. You know what I mean? That should be manifested in the earth. And so your purpose, regardless of what stage you're in, you have to remind yourself that my purpose is still in effect because I'm still here.
Because I'm still here.
Because I'm still here.
And that is so good, because one thing that I realized is that, so I went through this phase in my life. I was married for almost 20 years. And then at the age of 10 and 6, my children were 10 and 6, and I became a single parent. I grew up with both my parents. So I didn't know anything about being a single mother or anything like that. Never even imagined it in my mind.
Mm.
And I remember all of those days when I just wanted to say, you know what, I can't, I can't do this. And my children would look up at me and say, Mommy, I'm hungry, or Mommy, I'm this, or Mommy, I'm that. it ignited something on the inside of
Mm.
me because I understood that I needed to get myself together,
Yeah.
because right now my purpose was to mother my children, to help them
Right.
get through the stage that was
Right.
even challenging for them, because they, up to that moment, they had a mother and father in the same house, so they
Mhm.
had to navigate through. And because I
Yes.
understood, you know what, God, you gave me these children, and regardless of my situation, regardless of the fact that it doesn't look the way that I planned it,
That's it.
you equipped me to be able to mother them in a way
Yes.
that
Yep.
will allow them not to skip a beat. And
Mhm.
so that gave me the strength and the
Yes.
courage to
Mhm.
be able to go through things. And even now in my life, when I go through different things, you know, it's my purpose that gives me the strength to say forget this, because plenty of times I just want to just say, you know how we say throw in the towel, but I
Mhm.
realize I
Mhm.
can't even throw in the towel. I try to throw in the towel and it's glued to my hand. It won't even leave
Yeah.
me. It
Yeah.
won't even leave me.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and so because I know I have a purpose, because
Yeah.
I know that God called me, I know that I am here because God ordained me to be here, to be able to be effective in this earth. Because
Right.
what I tell people about purpose too is your story is the answer to someone's
Somebody
problem.
else. Yes. Yes. It
And
absolutely
so
is.
when you understand that, that's that purpose being intact. That's that purpose
Yes.
going.
Yes.
That's that purpose moving. And I don't care how low you are and how low and what you have done in your life, it was necessary for you to
Yes.
be the person who you are right now. Because
And
now when you can reach people that I can't reach. I
right.
can reach people that you can't reach. And so if
Right.
you understand it that way, we would embrace our stories. We would
Right. Right.
embrace the things that God brought us through rather than feel ashamed or
Mhm.
embarrassed.
Mhm.
The fact that God brought us through and we still here,
Yes.
that's a blessing within itself.
And I just want to, touch on what you just said, where how you, even when you want to give up, even when you want to quit, how you want, like you said, throw in the towel, that, but that purpose is tethered to you. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? And to share a story, I remember it was quite a few years ago. But I remember, like, when you're not operating in purpose, when you're just kind of, you just not in that purpose or that thing, you know what I mean? It can bring about a depression,
Mm-hmm.
right? It could bring about a depression. And so I remember that, I remember asking God one time, I remember praying to God and saying, asking the Lord to take the desire, like the singing and all that. I was asking him to take it away because it was too painful not to be operating in it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how tethered that thing is to you. So it's like, okay, because life be lifing,
Yeah.
right? We know life be lifing, and so you can, you could be all over the place. Like you said, you didn't never imagine that you would be raising your kids by yourself. That wasn't in the plan.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so when life be lifing like that, and what it does is it makes some things become dormant. So some things can become dormant. And as I was thinking about this, I said, even he never did answer that prayer. First of all, he never did answer the prayer, because I was just like, Lord, just take it away, because it's too painful, to just not be living what's on the inside of me.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things, one of the things that I realized was that even if it's dormant, it's not dead. It's just dormant. And even if it's dormant, it's still always there, because there's always going to be something that stirs it. There's
Mm-hmm.
always going to be something that triggers it. There's always going to be something that reminds you of it. So even if it's dormant, even if you're not operating in it, you still feel the stirrings of it, And so, like you said, so purpose literally, it encourages you to keep going even when you don't want to go,
That's
because
right.
that thing is built in you. You was created with it in you. And so it makes you want to keep going. It makes you want to take another step. Like sometimes I be like, okay, it's just this too much, especially the way this is just too much. I'm too old. It's this too much. But the next thing you know it, I'll find myself thinking about another strategy, thinking about another way to do it, envisioning how it could be like this, or envisioning how it could be like that, even without me even trying. because that thing is tethered to you. That thing is a part of you, and it rises up even when you don't want to deal with it no more. And so you learn to, so you grow in those stages. Like you had to rise up and say, you know what, I got to take care of my kids. So you start growing even within those stages, and you don't realize that all those things are connected, and they become a part of that anchor of purpose that keeps rising up in you. So it's like you take the next step in life rather than withdrawing from it, even though you kind of step back sometimes. And because one of the things, and Pastor Kotiki would know, we talk about birthing and spiritual midwives and all of that, and to understand that giving birth, first of all, is not easy.
Mm-hmm.
Giving birth is not easy, while at the same time, because I am still carrying something, it means my story's not over.
Right.
So sometimes you might not feel the baby kicking, but it does not mean that you're not pregnant with purpose. And so that really lets me know every now and then when that baby kicks, even when I don't want him to kick, that my story is not over. So sometimes, while it's not easy, you have to kind of focus more on what's left as opposed to what's lost, what you still have as opposed to what you lost. And so that's that purpose. That purpose drives you. It drives you even when you want to quit. It drives you.
Absolutely. And this, I mean, you just said a mouthful. That was good. And it reminded me, I remember that after my divorce, and I was doing, my ex-husband and I, we were doing ministry, and then I came back to New Jersey, and everybody was pulling on me, and I was like, you know what, God, I ain't doing this anymore. Go get somebody else. I met my quota. I ain't doing this no more. This is it. That's it. I still love you. We cool like that.
Right.
I met my quota. I'm not interested no more.
Right.
And he didn't bother me. I was doing stuff with my kids and doing all that. But also he shifted me. That's how I got into the quote unquote motivational speaking part. Because he shifted me, although I wasn't in the church and in the pulpit and all that kind of stuff, because I didn't want to do it anymore. I found myself doing it in another way. On the football field, I'm always bringing people to me to encourage them. With my kids at the basketball game, I'm standing outside in the parking lot talking to a mother, giving her a hug, encouraging her, taking the kids, all still in motion. But it just didn't look like the way that I was doing it before.
Exactly.
So like when you said, even though it's dormant, it's not dead. Sometimes God will redirect you based on your mindset. And you think that you're not doing what you're supposed to do. You think that you're not being relevant. You think that you're not being effective, but there's something that's being developed on the inside of you that you can use. I was able to take all of that time in my life and apply it and implement it for who I am now as an empowerment coach. Because now I have another area. I'm not just so focused this way. God, during that time, and people were telling me that I was out of the will. I said, you know what, baby, just pray for me then, okay? If you think I'm out of the will, just pray for me. But what happened for me is that I was no longer like this. Now I was like that. And that's what the unspoken purpose in you.
That's good. That's good. Unspoken.
Because we get so like this sometimes that we forget that God is a vast God. He's an almighty God. He is He's not just like this. This is us. We put ourselves in the box.
Right.
And that's what happened. We start realizing that we're not looking like maybe that one over there is looking
right.
like they're doing it over there. And we think that something is wrong with us.
Right.
But God stretches us. And we can't, most of the time, we can't articulate it because we don't understand it. And so even in those moments where you may feel like you are not doing what you're supposed to do, sometimes because I say, the valley moments, those are the most precious moments.
Right.
Because when you're in the valley, it's only one way to look, and that's up. And that in the valley moments, that's when you get an opportunity to understand who God really is.
And to hear.
And to absolutely hear. Because even that, when we get to the point, because that's another thing in my empowerment coaching, I help people who feel stuck And
Mhm.
most people feel stuck
Mhm.
simply just because they don't have the clarity and they don't know what to do. And that's
Mhm.
because, again, they're looking like this,
Right.
where God is trying to say like this.
Right.
And so you have to understand that, you know what, God stretches us.
Yes.
There's a
Yes.
there's a stretching that
Yes.
goes. And when you even talk about pregnancy, when I carried my son, I had to wear a brace because people thought I was having twins. He was so heavy and he was so low that I had to go on bed rest. And then when I
Mhm.
got up, I had to put a brace around me.
Right.
That brace helped me to carry what I had. And a lot
Full term.
of times we struggling because we don't get the help that we need to
Yeah.
help us carry the
That's
load.
good. That's good. That's good.
But when you understand the power of purpose and why it's important, then you'll know when it's time to raise your hand and say, you know,
Mhm.
what's this? I need help, or I need to invest in myself. I
Mhm.
need to do
Mhm.
this because, yeah, I'm praying, but I need some strategies. I
Right.
need some
That's it.
instructions. I need some downloads that's going to help me be more effective in this
Right.
thing that God has called me to do.
Mm-hmm. And you said something when you talked about how we're here, how that's how we think, and God is here, and it made me even think about the fact that first of all, even our purpose is to His glory, right?
Yes.
And
That
so
our very first purpose.
our purpose is to His glory, and so therefore it's not really about us. We get to participate, we get to be a part, we get to experience, but what He created us for is to, like you said, our first purpose is to His glory, and then it's multifaceted. but
Yes.
but if we don't believe, if we're here, which a lot of times we can be, especially, I could be my worst critic. I could be my
Yes.
worst critic. You know what I mean? And so you in your own little corner, in your own little I don't know if y'all know about that Cinderella. But anyway, you know what I mean? But you can be in that, or I'll just say a pity party. How about that? Right?
Yes.
And you can be in that, forgetting that this is God's purpose. And you can't even imagine how multifaceted it can be if you would trust Him and walk it out with Him. Like you said, nobody gives birth alone. I mean, unless you have to, but nobody chooses to give birth alone. So you do need that midwife to push you, but you also got to be able to believe that there's more than what you just thought there was, that this isn't the end of it, or this is, that is so narrow that God can't do anything else for your situation, or to bring you out into a different situation. And you talked about really different paths. That's what I meant by
That's it. There you
multifaceted.
go. Yeah.
Different paths. So
Yeah.
you thought it was going to be, because we have the mindset of how we think this thing's going to be. We have a mindset of this is how we want it to go. And so that's where that disappointment comes in and all of that stuff comes in. But yet, like you said, in those valley experiences, we don't like them, but those are the times where I can be still. And God's like, I can speak to you now. I
Yeah.
can I can deal with you now. I can prune you now. I can give you some more vision and some more insight. And so so that's how you find out along the way how multi-purposed your purpose can be, when you thought it was going to go in this direction, but He's got you working in this vein right now. And then you might work in this vein right now. And all of those different lanes are building you. They're building you.
Yes.
They're giving you the meat of your purpose. All of it's going to count. That's why, like there was a time when you needed encouragement. Now you're encouraging other people, but it helped by having that experience. You
Yes.
can say, I understand. I've been there. I know what it's like. I know what it's like to be depressed. I know what it's like to be lonely. I know what it's like to be heartbroken. So all of that experiences anchors your purpose. Yeah, that's good.
That I like anchor. No, that's it. That's it. And that's why I say we don't, people's like, oh, I can't, I gotta find my purpose. I'm like, baby, a good life coach, a good empowerment coach knows how to ask you the right questions
Mhm.
so that you can realize that you already have it
There
in
you
you
go. There
already.
you go. There you go.
We're looking for all this over here and all this kind of stuff. You have it in you
You
already.
have it in you. Yep.
You got it in you already. It's just like when you talk about when the baby is in you, the baby is in you. It's forming in you, it's
Correct.
developing in you, and
Mhm.
it's gonna stay in you as long until you ready to deliver.
Right.
For so many of us, because of the challenges that we face and the different things that we go through, we have
Right.
to have somebody there to guide us. Because if we could do it on our own, we could just sit there and just, you know what? Oh, hold on, sis. I'm getting ready to push this baby real quick. Hold on, I'll be right back. You know, all right, hold up. Okay. All right, so what was you talking about? What was you talking about? Only if it was that simple, right?
If only it was that
If
simple.
only it was that simple. But that goes to the point of we being fitly joined together.
Yeah.
We needing each
We
other.
need each other.
We need each other.
Yeah, we
We
do.
need each other. All of that stuff, people say when I meet a lot of people that say, I'm just a loner. I said, no, you need to change your language.
Yeah, yeah,
Because you are
absolutely.
not alone.
Absolutely.
No one was meant to be alone.
Right. Exactly. And
You
that's
know?
definitely that's really even a place of the enemy loves for us to be alone in a sense. You know what I mean? Because if no one else is kind of in our ear encouraging us or whatever, having different conversations, he certainly will be.
Right.
And so, like you said, we're not meant to be alone. We're meant to, like you said, we fit jointly together. The arm needs the hand and the leg needs the foot. And so we all fit together. And like you said, I love the ideal of, someone coming alongside of you to encourage you. Like you got to figure those first first 3 or 4 months, you don't feel anything moving when you're pregnant. You don't necessarily feel anything, maybe 3 or 4 months. Maybe when you get around the 5th month, you start feeling some stirrings. You know what I'm saying? But you're still pregnant. And so I love the ideal that, working together, encouraging each other, pouring into each other. Like you said, the purpose is already there because it's been God given.
Right.
It just has to be massaged. It just has to, it just has to kind of be massaged and worked and encouraged to bring it out.
No, that's real. That's real talk. So, with all of that being said, so I'm 62, and I know you got a year on me because we talked about this. We still young and beautiful, looking good, okay?
Wait a minute. Okay.
Looking good and grateful that we are still here. And
Oh,
the
what you
reason I'm
saying?
and the reason I'm saying this, not to be vain or anything like that. I'm saying this because I want people to understand that you, and I said this earlier, you are never too old to be who you should have been. You are never too old to be who God has called you to be. And so with that being said, you have this amazing, and I listened to it again today because when you first came out with it, I was listening, but I said, let me listen to it again today. And this is an amazing song that you put out. Now, in my mind, you should have did this 100 years ago because you've been singing since I known you, okay? But,
Oh, Jesus.
the thing that's so good about God is the fact that we still here, that there's always opportunity for us to get in place and manifest that thing that He has called us to be. So I want you to tell us about what made you finally get to the point where you said, you know what, Barbara Dixon, what's your middle name?
Barbara Ann.
I was getting ready to say Barbara Ann. I was getting ready to say Barbara Ann, but I didn't want, because some people it's Barbara Lee, Barbara Ann.
Oh, there's so many. There's
Barbara Lee. Let me say Barbara Ann Gregory Dixon, right?
Say it again.
Barbara Ann Gregory Dixon. I'm calling all your names, okay? What made you finally at this stage of your life say, okay, I'm just gonna do it?
You know what? When I tell you that, well, first of all, I kind of looked at it wrong because I think because I was getting older, it was what I was setting it up as a goal, right? I was setting it up as a goal. What do you call that? What do you call that when you trying to do some things?
A bucket list?
Yeah. I call myself literally I literally, I'm being honest. I was like, okay, it's like a bucket at this point. Before it was just, oh, I'm singing. You know how you had that dream? I'm singing. You're gonna be on stage. You in the Whitney Houston, Tony Braxton area, and all that. You know, I used to get the gowns and the whole nine, the townships, everything. By the time I got to this stage, I started feeling like, of course, I'm old now, and it's a little late. So now it's switched over to the dream and um, not really even realizing prior that it was purpose. So now it's switching over from that to, oh, it's a bucket list. And I had to come to the place that it's not a bucket list, it's ministry.
Right.
It's not a bucket list, it's ministry. And just because it didn't happen when you thought it should happen, just
Right.
because it didn't happen the way you expected it to happen, doesn't mean that it now is down to a bucket list as opposed to purpose and ministry.
Mm.
And I think so. So that's honestly, that's how I was thinking. Like I always wanted to do an album, always wanted to do an album, and just letting life, life in it. Sometimes it's life in it, and then sometimes it's you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it ain't all life in it. It ain't all the devil. Sometimes it's you. Sometimes you're the you're what's causing the stagnation. You're what's causing it to be held up. But I literally kind of threw it over there, and then as I began to start going in the studio, right, as I started writing the songs, I think the songs that I started writing started letting me know that this is not a bucket list.
Mm.
That that's not what this is, and that you really kind of come in full circle. Even though there's other things that you do, there's other things that you're gifted in. I know that this is one of our purpose. And I think as I started writing the songs, and then even once I started writing the songs, COVID hit. So
Mm.
here we go again. Here we go again.
Right. Right.
What's that? What's that? I don't know how long. Was that a year, 2 years? You know what I'm saying? Here
Right.
come, as soon as I started writing, here come COVID. And I was like, okay, here, now here's this. And I just kept on writing, going through ups and downs, going through life's changes, all the changes that you go through, whether it's, sickness, whether it's financial, whatever it is, still going through all of that. And those things was giving me music. Those things was giving me lyrics. And it's funny because Miracles was the very last song that I wrote. And it was to wind up being the song that I felt led for it to be released.
Mm.
Miracle Signs and Wonders. And out of it came out of me literally praying for a friend
Mm.
who was going through health challenges. And I was on my way to minister for her. And I was just praying on the way there. And that's what dropped in my spirit. So really, I kind of wrote it like almost really 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was just something that I had on my phone voice recorder. Um, and then it kind of just grew in the middle of, I said, I need a song that's talking about what God is still doing, because people are losing hope, and the
Mm-hmm.
situations that we're going in, and you'll forget that God is still God, and that He's still doing miracle signs and wonders for those who believe. And so that's kind of how the song came about. It was written really about 2 years ago. But yeah, waiting to this point was never my intention. Never, 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 never. You talking about the girl who was been singing up in her attic, with a broom, wanted to be Stephanie Mills. Okay, went to see the Wiz and wanted to be Stephanie Mills. You talking about, fifth grade and stuff like that. That's all I ever wanted to do. So of course, going through this whole life and getting to this stage and now doing it has absolutely been challenging. Mentally, it has been challenging. Emotionally, it has been challenging. You fight almost every day about, Not even just pressing forward with it, but just that whole where you at in your life. You know what
Right.
I mean? They don't even do CDs no more. That's how long I waited. They don't even do CDs. You know, you trying to tell people how to even how do you get the music?
Right, right.
Everything's digital. Everything's digital. Where do I go? Where do I go? You know what I'm saying? And so you start asking yourself questions like, Lord, have mercy. You know, do I do this now? Is it, is it still alive? Is it dreams? You know, all of that. And I told you again, the purpose doesn't die.
So what did you find out about your confidence
Ooh,
going through this process?
that I ain't have much.
And
um,
and that's most people.
yeah, that I didn't have much. And I ain't saying that it's it's super confidence now.
Right.
It's suppressed.
Mhm.
It's suppressed. But because again, it God in his grace will remind you because you got so many things that you got to deal with. You got the fear factor. You got the it's too late factor. You got the, I'm just saying things that could rise. Like you got that. You have, you don't want to do the comparison. Of course the way the world is, you don't want to do comparisons. You know what I mean? You think about all the different things, you think all about all the challenges that you're gonna face. And so your confidence, I think a lot of times the confidence only comes when I know I'm in the pocket of ministry.
Right.
I think that's really the only time when you can feel the most confident is when you're in the pocket of ministering, when that oil is flowing, and or somebody will let you know. There's even times when you be like, oh, okay, I ain't, that wasn't really that good. I ain't sound that good, or I missed the mark, or whatever. And that's me thinking sound and notes. And of course, you want to sound good, but when somebody will come to you and say that was just for me,
Right.
or I needed that, or you don't know what that did for me, or and a really good one is when the young people come to you,
Yes.
because that's another one of those things, because the world is built for 20 and 30-year olds, you know what I
Right.
mean, especially when it comes to women, you know what I
Mhm.
mean. And so when you get a young person that says, oh, I use your song for my wake up call in the morning,
Mm.
those to me are God's grace in me, letting me know, okay, you good, you still in the race, you still here. You still got purpose. It's okay. What you're comparing and how you're looking at it and what you're supposed to be doing is two different things.
Yeah.
So that confidence usually comes from things like that. When you just ministered.
Mhm.
And it wasn't just your talent.
Right.
You ministered. That's to me where you'll get the most confidence.
And one thing I try to tell people, and myself often too, is that if we remember that God has assigned us to a group of people.
There it is.
And if you pray and you say, you know what, God, help the people who I've been assigned to find me,
Mm,
or
that's
help
good.
me find the people who I have been assigned to. And once we do that, because I so many times the first thing I ask people when they come to me in terms of when I'm doing my coaching and stuff, I'm like, okay, who is your target audience? Well, really everybody, because I can do this and this and that. No, what
Mm-hmm.
I need you to understand, I need you to focus on a group of people that you know God has called you to.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And when you focus on those people, then you build what God has given you based on those particular people.
Mm-hmm.
Because what happens, and we do this when we look for our family to support us and they don't, right? So we get so discouraged and all of that without real. You have not been assigned to them. They are not the ones who God has assigned you to. We want our family and the people closest to us to support us and rah-rah us on and things like that. But the reason they can't get with you, or the reason they don't see it, the reason because you have not been called to them. And so if we really stop trying to give it to everybody
Right.
and say, God, show me the people, let the people find me who I have been assigned to,
Mm-hmm.
we will find such a fulfillment because there's somebody who was like you said, that young person could have been praying, God, just send me a person who got a song that's going to speak to me, that I
Mm-hmm.
listen
Mm-hmm.
every day, that's going to encourage me, that person is praying for you. That
Mm-hmm.
is praying for you to manifest the gift of you so that they can live, and so that you are the key that unlocks something
Mm-hmm.
that's on the inside of them.
And that's really, really good. I thought about that too, about the fact that one of the things that you have to do, especially even at this stage, the first thing you really have to do is give yourself some grace. Like I
Absolutely.
said, I could be my worst critic. I'm not even somebody that want to go back and even hear how I sound.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you have to give yourself some grace. And that, you can't, you really have to start loving who you are.
Yes.
Like, I love to see women, especially older women, who love who they are. They're not ashamed who they are. They're not ashamed to be all natural, and they love who they are. They love the stage. And when they say, "Oh, I remember," was it Maya Angelou? Am I saying her name right?
Mm-hmm. My
Uh,
angel. Mm-hmm.
yeah, when she said, I watched a documentary on her, and she was talking about, I think at this time, she was maybe in her 70s or something like that. And she was saying, yeah, these 70s been good. She said, but I'm looking forward to these 80s and these, like, and I was just like, okay, well, while everybody around here trying to be younger and to look younger, she's looking forward to, you know what I mean? Like, loving where she's at. And that really, really inspires me. It really, really does. It really inspires me. And so it's really learning to look in the mirror and like the person that you see.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing for women in general, because we've been groomed to think that the model that you see on the magazine wakes up looking like that.
Right.
She's
Right.
been airbrushed to the bone, but
Mm-hmm.
we think that she looks like that when she wakes up.
Yeah.
And so because we've been groomed in that type of era and that type of, culture, you have to like the person that you see in the mirror. And that's a real big thing. And that's the beginning of really experiencing your purpose, because you got to like you.
Yeah.
You got to like you. And then not comparing yourselves on the journey. I remember when I first started preaching, which was something that I definitely was not trying to do. It's not
Wrong.
trying to
Wrong list, guys.
Oh, Lord Jesus. I'm like, Lord. But anyway, and I used to go, when you're ministering, and I never liked all the whole bunch of preacher ministering
Mm-hmm.
thing. I never kind of liked that, because I always felt like the spirit of competition always kind of finds its way in. But anyway, so I'm at one where, it's like all men, and, I think at this particular time, I was filling in for my pastor. And so it was all pastors besides me and another woman. And I'm like, Lord, Lord, Lord. And I remember saying to myself, to him, like, I felt like the Holy Spirit said, you can only be you.
Mm-hmm.
You can only be you. And so you can only give what you have, and you can only be you. And I never forgot that. And so when you start talking about there is a group of people for you that's waiting. I've been told many times, there's a group of people waiting to hear your voice.
Yes.
They're waiting for your sound.
Yes.
Okay, I'm not the best singer in the world, but there's somebody waiting to hear my sound, to
That's right.
hear the anointing on my life. You know what I mean? To plant seed in the heart of the soil of their hearts. And so when you remind yourself of that, that's another one of those things that cause you to take another step. Take another step. Try again. Try again. And like you said, because we're still here, that means there's still need of me. There's still
Yes.
purpose. My purpose is still in effect. As long as I'm breathing, my purpose is in effect. Regardless of how it changes, my purpose is still in effect.
No, that is so good. And and it for us, we at this stage, and that's why I try to tell my daughters and all her girlfriends and my nieces and all of them, I wish I had a me for me when I was your age.
Woo.
we figuring this stuff out in our 50s and our 60s and
Yep.
all of this stuff. We didn't know this back. I said, because if I knew all of this back then, y'all wouldn't know me. I'd be having me so I'd be you wouldn't know me. I'd
Yeah.
be on a whole nother level somewhere, okay?
Living that best life.
Yes, yes. So, we got it later in life.
Yep.
And so I try to give to you all so that you don't have to wait until you get
Right.
in your 50s and 60s. You
Right.
can get it now in your 30s,
You
your
can.
20s and your 30s, so
Yep.
that you can, experience life in a greater magnitude. I'm
Right.
not saying my life was miserable and horrible, but I do wish that I knew what I knew
Of
now
course. Of course.
years ago.
Of course. Of course.
Because we didn't hear all that when we were growing up, right? If we saw a girl who was confident, we called her conceited
Mm-hmm.
because we didn't know no better.
Right.
Nobody told us to love ourselves and to embrace us. And so if they should had a father that was telling her she beautiful and she
Mm-hmm.
could do this and all that kind of stuff, she just so conceited.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't know no better.
Nope.
That's because we were not getting that, and that person was, and we just didn't, out of ignorance, we didn't know. We called it, she had confidence, we called her conceited.
Right. And this really is so important, like you said, for the generation, like our children, our nieces, and our nephews or whatever, and those even coming behind us. It's so important to grab a hold of that thing now, and for it to not be diluted by the comparison of others,
Yes.
as well as the infiltration of others.
Yes.
Because you can have others come in and tell you might have this dream or this desire, or God might have given you something, but when you allow others to come in and dilute it and to redirect you, that's why it's so important to first of all, you don't have to tell everybody everything that you're doing, first of all, but that purpose, if you can get it now, if you can begin to even seek God's face for the things that you should even be doing right now, and just growing in your purpose, it gives you the strength and the stability in that anchor, like we talked about earlier, to stay focused and to stay on course, so you're not so easily persuaded by the masses. You understand? And to be able to have someone like a Marcella, or to be able to have someone to encourage you and to pour into you, and to help you manifest even the more the giftings that's on the inside. So it's very, very important to grab a hold of it now. And like you said, don't wait until you get our age. And if anything, take advantage of the wisdom that we have.
Exactly.
It's not so much we try and tell you everything to do, but take advantage of the wisdom that we have.
Yeah. Oh, girl, this was good. This was good. This was good. This was good. So I'm just grateful, and I celebrate you. I celebrate
so
you
much
for taking the step, and I celebrate you for your yes to do that what God has called you to do, despite the challenges and the length of time that it took you to do it. The fact that you did it, and you did it with the revelation of understanding this ain't no bucket list thing. This is who I am. This is who God called me to be. This is what I do. This is me right now. And so that's such a blessing to be able to attach that revelation that you mentioned, that illumination God gave you on this journey for where you are today. And so tell everybody the name of the song, tell them how they can get the song. And you could sing a teeny verse from the song if you want to.
That was smooth. That was smooth. That was smooth. But I do want to say this too. It's a walk. It's a journey. It's a walk. And don't I want my little battery to run out here.
That's what happened to me. That's why I had to step aside. I thought I had mine plugged in, and the light came on, said, "Girl, your laptop about to die."
No, don't even try it. Don't try it. Hold up now. Hold up. Hold up. But I was gonna say that even though all right, there we go. There we go. We know that God has not given us the spirit of fear, but I remember something that but I do say, and I got it from Joyce Myers, when she said, even do it afraid.
That's right.
Even do it afraid, because we don't have the same as you get older, you kind of lose a little confidence. You know, you don't run and jump over the cliff like you would when you was in your 20s and your 30s. You kind of a little bit more reserved. You kind of a little bit more afraid, a little bit timid. And so that kind of happens. But it's really doing it afraid. Like, I don't even do these. You know, you are stretching me just being on here. Okay. Kotiki, no. That Dr. Anana used to have to pull teeth to get us on these lives. Okay, we'd be like, well, can we pre-record it? You know, do over. But you know, it's like really doing it afraid. A lot of times I'm doing it afraid, but I'm just doing it. And I used to always, like, when I was doing the little talent shows and all that kind of stuff, it was like, never let them see you sweat. Never let them see you sweat. But you're afraid, but you're doing it.
Right.
And so even if you have to do it afraid, just take the steps. Like I said, every day, just another press. Every day, another press. I forgot what you asked, but I just wanted to say that.
No, that's good though. That's very good. No, so how to get
okay. The songs,
the name of the song and how to get the song.
Okay, so the song is Miracle Signs and Wonders. And the song is available on all digital platforms. So I don't know all of them. I know what you got. You got TikTok, you got Amazon, you got Spotify, you got
because I listened to it on YouTube.
Okay, YouTube. So it's on all digital platforms. You young people know this. It's us older folks that gotta go figure something out. But it's on all digital platforms.
Apple Music, all of that.
All of them.
Spotify.
Yep, Spotify, all of those. So and it's working on, album is pretty much complete. So I'm gonna try to put that out early next year. Hopefully followed by a live concert. But you know.
I like that.
And Do It Afraid. That's right. And yeah. And so it's available everywhere. And it goes miracles, signs and wonders. Miracles, signs and wonders. Miracles, signs and wonders. That's what you are. That's what you are. Is that good enough? Change my life and save my soul. But the love so deep it could never be told. He does miracles, signs and wonders. That's what you are. That's what you are. A live concert. Yes, it's coming. It's coming.
That is so beautiful. That is so beautiful.
I'll be looking for you to go out and get that. You know, the album will be out top of the year. And do this live concert. And I want to see my peoples in the house.
And remember the name, Barbara
Dixon. Not Barbara Lee. I ain't never heard that one. I heard Barbara Joe.
I know Barbara Lee. I do. I
know Barbara Lee. I'm not thinking of Barbara Joe.
She's younger than us.
Oh, okay. Okay. She done got named after somebody. Yes. You done got named after somebody. And Barbara Ann, I know that one's all over.
Yes.
Thank you, Ivanka. That's a beautiful name. I hope I'm saying it right. Thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, my sis.
But you know who that is. That is Chris Brown's older sister.
Okay.
Aisha Brown's mother.
Okay.
Remember all the Browns from the Chris Brown and all of them? Marlette. Chris Brown was with me. And then I think right, Cynthia Brown. That's right. You know them if you see.
I'm sure. I just need to see faces. I'm horrible with names.
When I tell you, you know, because I didn't know that was her full name either.
Okay.
I didn't know that was her full name either. But
they put the YouTube on there. Okay.
Yeah. No, she put the music song. Yeah, Davine put the song where it is on YouTube. Thank you, Davine.
Oh, thank you so much.
And so before we go, I just want to thank you so much, Barbara, for being here with me tonight.
Appreciate
ladies, listen, I want to invite you on December 27th. I'm having my annual Ladies Night Out event, Ladies in Red. I started doing this event back in 2018. We did it 2018, 2019, and then COVID came, and then we did it last year. And it's just a gathering of sisterhood, sisters coming together. It's
Okay.
a fundraiser for my ministry, Motivate and Pray. That's the host. And we just come together and we have a good time. And so it is Saturday, December 27th. Today is what, the 15th? So we got 12 more days.
Okay.
And it's at the Pines Manor in Edison, New Jersey. And it's just a good night of fellowship. And we just come and we have a good time. So this is my special invitation to those of you who are listening.
Is that a Saturday?
It's a Saturday evening at 6:00. And we just have a good time. It's just a good time.
Ladies in red, y'all gonna be in red?
Dressed all the way up, girl.
All right now. Put on your red dress.
Yeah, them high heels. Come on, girl.
You put them on when you walk in, but you won't have them on long.
That's right. We take them off by the time we get to the end. And so I want you to definitely, when you get ready to do that album. So ladies, you can visit my Facebook page to get any details about the Ladies Night Out, Ladies in Red.
Okay.
And now I'm being serious now. I invite you all to join. If you just need a time of sisterhood, you need some good fellowship, this is the place where ladies do get along. I saw somebody post the other day, ladies, why can't we just get along? Well, when we together at Ladies Night Out, we get along. So if you're looking for some sisters, then you want to get along with, come join us on Ladies Night Out. So my sister, I want to, when you get ready to do your concert, when you get ready to do that album and all that kind of stuff, all you got to do is let me know. Listen, you let me know. I may say, oh, come on, we're going to do a virtual live concert. You just let me know. Okay.
I appreciate it.
You're
stretching me.
Yeah, that's what I do. All my girls will tell you that I'm the stretcher.
I don't make me weep you.
I'm the stretcher and the purpose pusher. Okay?
That's it. Yep, that's it. I so appreciate you, my sister. I appreciate you giving me the time and the platform and all that you're doing. Like I said, I know you've been doing this thing for a minute. I'll be seeing your posts. I love the encouragement. How you been on them videos, though, girl? You got this. That's offline. You got to show me that. I love it.
I'm about to do a training. I'm gonna do a training for all
this
AI stuff to be able to teach my sister so that we can go and because AI and stuff is not going anywhere. So you might as well learn it. To benefit you and just so that you're not left behind.
Definitely have a training. Have a training because I think I love when I see it.
Yeah.
I'm like, where's she at? Where's she at now? Oh, that's a bad one, So definitely, you let me know about that training. But I thank you so much. Thank you for the stretch.
Yes,
for the stretch, because Lord knows
it's
a stretch. But I appreciate it. I usually always have a good time. It's just a stretch. But again, that's the stepping out. That's the stepping out and all with purpose. So I appreciate it. I really do. Thank you so much. Thank you, ladies, for joining us.
Yes, thank you for commenting. Please, if you heard something here tonight, drop it and keep commenting. One thing that I wanted to ask you all that I didn't because this conversation was so good. My question to you is, do you know your purpose? Do you know your purpose? If you know your purpose, put it in the comments. I'm going to come back and I'm going to look later on. I want to see what you all have written. Do you know? And if yes, write what it is. And then write, are you walking in it? That's what I really want to know. Are you living a purpose-driven life? Are you living in purpose? And so those are some of the things that I want you all to think about. But just continue to follow me because it's on any given Monday or Tuesday. I'm showing up with Marcella and friends, bringing my super friends along. And we just having great conversation about purpose. And you get to hear some about all these amazing events, projects, services that they are doing. We on this journey together. We're growing together. And I just love just seeing my sisters do great things.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
All right, ladies. Well, until we meet again, those of you, Davine definitely gonna be at Ladies Night Out. She done got her girls together and they coming. So Davine, thank you so much, sweetheart. I look forward to seeing you and we just gonna have a good time. All right. So Pa, I'm getting ready to end this live, but you don't go anywhere. You stay right where you are, okay? And I am going to
later, ladies.
Don't forget, y'all, share the broadcast. Don't forget, answer the questions. Do you know what your purpose is? If yes, tell us what it is. And then the final question, Are you walking in it? Are you doing it? Until next time, y'all be blessed.